Hi, I am Marisol Renasha and I'm going to report about intelligence test. So, Miss Adipaka already discussed the definition of intelligence test. So, what I'm going to discuss is about one of the intelligence tests based on scientists. We have four: the Wechsler test, the Stanford Binet Intelligence Scale, Raven's Progressive Matrix, and Vinland Social Maturity Scale. So the highlight of my report is only about Wechsler test. Okay, so there are three different scales named as Wechsler Intelligence Scale. They are designed for adults, for children, and for preschoolers. They were direly needed as the previous designed IQ test became insufficient to measure the human intelligence of different age groups. David Wechsler designed first Wechsler-Bellevue Intelligence Scale, which became popular as Wechsler Scale. After a few years, Wechsler further refined this IQ test and came up with WAIS, or Wechsler Adult Intelligence Scale, that was fit to measure the intelligence quotient of adults. So this scale, however, was also not suitable to assess the intelligence of children of different ages. So we have three scales, and these scales are as followed. First, the Wechsler Intelligence Scale for adult, the Wechsler Intelligence Scale for children, and the Wechsler Preschool and Primary Scale of Intelligence. So let's discuss one by one. Um, let's discuss first the Wechsler Intelligence Scale for adult, or WISA. So because each individual scale is constantly being updated over the years, currently the third edition of WAIS is being used to measure the intelligence of adults. It is referred to as WAIS 3. So the tests are skill and ability based, therefore individuals from age 16 through adulthood are equally eligible to take this test. So it is designed to measure the intelligence in adults and older adolescents. The WISA is in its fourth version, which was published by Pearson in 2008. So the test contains 10 subtests and 5 supplemental tests. The test comprises the entire IQ scale and determines the capacity of a person to act and think purposefully and rationally to deal effectively with his environment. So it takes around mga 90 minutes to complete, and the WISA is appropriate for adults and adolescents ranging from 16 to 90 years of age. Next is the Wechsler Intelligence Scale for Children, or WISC. This test is suitable for next category of individuals whose cognitive, logical, and other various mental abilities are not as developed as of those older to them. So this scale is fit to measure the IQ level of children aged between 7 to 16. And the last one is the Wechsler Preschool and Primary Scale of Intelligence, or WPPSI. So finally, the last scale can aptly measure the intelligence of preschoolers and those who are at the primary level of education. So the children who can participate in this test are aged between 3 to 7 years. Okay, so we have here I have here the diagram which shows the full scale IQ, or FSIQ. Each Wechsler IQ test for the different age groups is further divided into two broad categories, the verbal and the performance IQ. Verbal IQ is looking at verbal comprehension and working memory, and performance IQ, perceptual organization and processing speed. These skills are then further divided into more subtests that together measure the complete IQ level of the individual. So in verbal IQ, we have 7 subtests: the vocabulary, similarities, information, comprehension, arithmetic, digit span, letter number sequencing. And in performance IQ, we have 5: picture completion, block design, matrix reasoning, the picture arrangement, digit symbol test. Okay, so let's discuss each subtest. Ano po? Let's start with the vocabulary. So the vocabulary, for picture items, the child names pictures that are displayed in the stimulus book. For verbal items, the child gives definition for words that the examiner reads aloud. So it consists of 66 words. Okay. Next is the similarities. The child is read an incomplete sentence containing two concepts that share a common characteristic. The child is asked to complete the sentence by providing a response that reflects the shared characteristic. So it consists 19 items. For example, the examiner will ask the child, in what way are red and blue alike? Or cats and dogs both have. Okay? So next is the information. For picture items, the child responds to a question by choosing a picture from 4 response options. For verbal items, the child answers questions that address a broad range of general knowledge topic. Questions here are not necessarily abstract in nature, nor interrogative in linguistic form. They may be concrete, involving situated understanding, such as show me your foot. So it consists of 28 items. So for example, picture item information questions are as follows. The child, for picture item, example picture item information question are as you can see in the slide. So point to the one that has a curly tail. Okay? Next is the comprehension. The child answers questions based on his or her understanding of general principles and social situation. It consists of 18 items. For example, the examiner will ask the child, why do people brush their teeth? Or why can birds fly but cats can't? Next is the arithmetic reasoning. It deals with the problem-solving method and measure by scoring. It consists of 20 items. So, for example, if 400 people can be seated in 8 subway cars, how many people can be seated in 5 subway cars? So, the solution is step 1, 400 people plus 8 subway cars is equal to 50 people per car. Step 2, 50 people per car times 5 subway cars is equals to 250. So the answer, 5 subway cars can accommodate 250 seated people. So the correct response is letter B, 250. Okay? Next, the digit span. The subject required to repeat for backward series of numbers. For example, 6, 4, 3. Increasing member by backward or forward. It consists of both forward and backward digits. For example, now, I am going to say some more numbers, but this time when I stop, I want you to say them backward. For example, if I say 9, 2, 7, what would you say? So, the child response will be 7, 2, 9. Okay, next is the letter number sequencing. the 2 to 9 letter and number combination. Here, you were going to tell the number first in order starting with the lowest number, followed by the letters in alphabetical order. Next is the performance scale. So we have 5. Picture completion, block design test, matrix reasoning, picture arrangement, digit symbol test. So let's start with the picture completion. Okay, so the subject should find out the missing picture. The child views a picture and then points to or names the important missing part. Okay, so for instance, a picture might show a person without a foot, or it might show a soccer game complete with all the players but with no ball. So in the picture, in the example, the missing part is the arm. Okay? Next is the block of design. Block design, while viewing a constructed model of a picture in a stimulus book, the child uses 1 or 2 color blocks to recreate the design within a specified time limit. Black is a colored blocks to produce picture according to given pattern. Next is the matrix reasoning. The child looks at in complete matrix and selects the missing portion from 4 or 5 response option. And then the picture arrangement, the subject is given mixed up set of picture to tell sensible strong. So at the example, look at the pictures in the boxes in the top row. These pictures go together in a certain way. Which picture in the bottom row goes with the picture in the top row? So the answer is the letter A. Next, digit symbol test. It is arithmetic procedure to find out the answer of digit value. Here, provide correction in the right side box. So in the example, the correct answer is number 2. Okay. So Wechsler Intelligence Test. In Wechsler Intelligence Test, you can prepare well to score better in these skills. These tests are not knowledge-based but skill-based. So you can practice them at home with the help of a practice IQ test which are widely available around. So if you are about to give your first Wechsler IQ test, then prepare yourself to score high. Okay? So that ends my report. Thank you very much.